Welcome to a soothing painting process where I share my color mixing tips for this handsome dog portrait in acrylics and oils. I also share a solvent-free oil painting method and how to clean oil painting brushes without any solvents. If you're on the fence about trying oil paints because of solvents, then this is your sign to try solvent-free. I'm using an already gessoed and toned panel I prepped weeks ago. I chose a light burnt sienna ground as it will add some warmth and glow to the following layers of paint. I was taught how to draw freehand from life. Since I'm also a photographer and signer in training, I'm open to trying out different ways to start a project. With this photo I took of a dog, I'm trying out an affordable image transfer method. Then I can see if I like it better than freehand or if it doesn't matter in the end. Once the fine charcoal is fully applied to the back of the print, I can draw around all the important contours of the face with a pencil. Since graphite and charcoal smudge easily when applying watered down paint, I like to follow up with a marker drawing next. I also hinted at light and shadow with thicker lines. And now I'm ready for the underpainting, so up on the easel this goes. I like to work with oils over acrylics, so I'm starting with the acrylics. There's two ways I use black paint. One is to customize pre-made paint, and the other is to mix my own black paint from red and blue. I'll share both, and here's the first one. I like adding purple to pre-made black paint as it makes it look even deeper in color. Blue can work well for this too. I mix in a little water and glazing fluid to get a thinner consistency and then brush on thin layers with a soft, synthetic brush. In real life, this dog has a lot of blue tones to its coat, and I want to emphasize that by picking the color complement, orange, as the background. An art teacher told me that when you paint complementary colors next to each other, they look brighter. So, in theory, this dog should look a little more vibrant without having to use vibrant blue. It's a cool optical trick, I think. And there's the finished acrylic underpainting. My paint instructions say to allow a week for full cure, and then it's on to the oils. Except a week later I noticed one eye was off center, so I had to fix that first and let it dry again. Oh, but it's worth it. That's better. I also apply my first oil layers thinly, gradually making them thicker as I add more layers and adding a painting medium to make them thicker. This is supposed to help with proper curing, as that whole painting process helps ensure that the top layers aren't curing faster than the bottom layers. If the top layers of the oils cure first, they often crack as the bottom layers are still wet. I learned this is called fat over lean, and there's a lot of great videos about it if you're curious to learn more. Now from here on out, I'm mixing my own black paint from red and blue paint colors. I'm making my own black paint because it's really easy to get it super dark, lighten it up, swing it more towards a blue tone or more towards red. In this case, I mixed burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. Burnt sienna is kind of an orange reddish, and since we know blue and red makes purple, this gives me a purple black. Well, what do you know, more purple black. And now you really get to see just how deep that purple makes the shadow colors. It's a little hard to see on camera until a little later, yet this is the point where I started to add more ultramarine blue to my mix to get the color to swing more towards blue. I paint this in the mid-tone areas, and as I move towards painting the highlights, I add the tiniest bit of titanium white. I'm talking like the tip of a ballpoint pen amount of white paint. That makes the highlights look more like a really dark blue instead of black. Once I have the main shadows, midtones, and highlights locked in, I settle in for a back and forth session of working with all three colors to carve out the likeness. This is the stage of painting that feels like sculpture to me as I take away previous color shapes and add on new ones, slowly watching the individual animal come to life. You'll probably also spot that I've long given up my big brush from the beginning and I'm working with the smaller one, slowly reducing the size of my brush stroke so I can hint at details. And that's kind of the goal at this stage, just hints of detail. Over the past few years, I've been exploring the two main ways to paint a painting in oils. Painting all of the colors all at once in one session, or in layers. The first is often called direct painting, alla prima painting, or wet on wet painting. I'm painting this one with the second method, which is painting it in layers over the course of days. I give each layer about 3 to 4 days to dry. By the way, I'm also painting this one solvent-free. I was told a long time ago that oils need solvents, and I've since learned that it's actually possible to paint oils without solvents. You can also clean up oils with another oil, like linseed, walnut, or vegetable oil, followed by soap and water. I really like to clean my oil painting brushes with vegetable oil and then a gentle brush soap, as I find that's softer on them than solvent, and it helps keep them conditioned and lasting longer. Now, if you're using a food-grade veggie oil like I am, just be sure to really wash out all of the oil with soap and water. Food-grade oils won't cure firm like artist-grade oils and will instead go rancid, so I make sure I get all of my vegetable oil off after each painting session so it won't mix with my paint. I grab an even smaller brush and start painting a glaze of earthy red tones to paint over the eyes. Glazes are made by mixing paint, ideally transparent, with a painting medium, and in my case it's burnt sienna with a tiny bit of oil painting medium. It only takes a little medium to help make the paint just transparent enough for that really bright orange acrylic to shine through and help the eyes glow. And that's a glaze. I've gotten kind of obsessed with glazes since learning how to do them. And now for the final touches. If you enjoyed this, you might want to check out my other animal art videos, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!